Oh my gosh, guys, we just got done watching it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I cried.
Where is A.A.Ron?
Present. Oh my goodness, guys, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story is fan-flippin'-tastic. You've seen me react to these trailers all year long. I've been saying, guys, this movie's gonna be awesome. This movie's gonna be awesome. Like, I had high expectations for Rogue One, and I saw it last night. My expectations were exceeded 110%. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story definitely delivers. Let's talk about Star Wars Episode 4 a little bit. In the opening crawl text for Episode 4, New Hope, it pretty much says that it is a time of galactic civil war. The Rebel Alliance is fighting against the Empire, and they just won their first major victory against the Empire. And in this battle, Rebel spies managed to steal the secret plans to a super planet destroying weapon. This is the story of Rogue One. It is about that major battle. It is about those spies that steal the Death Star plans. This is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Said rebel spies include the main heroine, Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, who ropes her into the Rebel Alliance, and just a whole bunch of other great, memorable characters. Jyn Erso is the daughter of Galen Erso. Galen Erso is the one that's mostly responsible for weaponizing and engineering the Death Star, against his will, of course, by the evil Imperial director Orson Krennic. Through secret messages and stuff, Galen tells his daughter Jyn, hey, look, there is a weakness to this big bad secret weapon, but in order for you guys to figure out where the weakness is, you gotta go find the secret plans to the Death Star first. And that is where our story begins. One of the things that director Gareth Edwards said about this film a couple years ago before making it is that, look, it's called Star Wars. This is going to be a war film, and indeed, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story is a war film. There is so much warlike action. There's a lot of political tension. There's a lot of mini political battles going on within the Empire, within the rebellion. You get to see the Galactic Civil War in a perspective that you can't get from watching the original trilogy, and it is gritty, it is dark, but it is cool. It is really awesome. I really liked the tone and the perspective that they put in this movie. But Rogue One isn't all dark and serious. Now, allow me to introduce K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk, comedic mastermind. This droid, he is the source of the comic relief in this movie. Like, pay attention to him. He is hilarious, easily, like, widely regarded as one of the best characters in the whole movie. Like, every character in this movie is amazing, but no, K2SO especially, you gotta love this guy. He is great. Easter eggs and references are abundant in this film. Like, if you've seen episodes 1 through 6, and if you know them frontwards and backwards, you are gonna have so much fun picking up on every single little detail that makes reference to these 6 movies. Like, it's gonna be a nightmare for that cleanup crew to clean up after you've nerded all over the place. Like, it is so great. In my 3 types of Star Wars fans video that I made a little while back, I talked a little bit about Star Wars Catalyst, the novel, and how cool it was. And right now, I've got to talk about it a little bit more. Now, I have to say, you do not have to read Catalyst in order to enjoy the Rogue One film. You do not. But I read this book before seeing the movie, and I felt so rewarded. The moments with Galen Erso and his wife Lyra Erso, the moments with Orson Krennic and Galen, The moments with Orson Krennic and another really important Star Wars bad guy in this movie, who I do not want to spoil to you guys. It goes into so much depth in this book. To me, those moments in Rogue One with those characters had so much more gravitas, so much more impact to it. Pretty much, if you feel like reading this book, Rogue One is going to be a little bit cooler. But if you don't, Rogue One is still going to be an amazing film. To me, I would compare it to sprinkling a little bit of salt on an already delicious entree. Like, it's going to enhance the flavor a little bit, but just by itself, the main dish is already fantastic. And that's what Catalyst is to Rogue One. So just throwing that out there. Oh, and also just to let you know, Catalyst is not a novelization of Rogue One. This actually describes the events that takes place before Rogue One film. It talks about Jyn Erso when she was born, when she was a baby girl, and that's really cool. It explains how she meets Saw Gerrera. It's pretty cool. Now, if Rogue One, a Star Wars story, has any imperfection to it, if this movie has the slightest blemish on it, it's got to be the opening crawl, because there isn't any. Like, the movie begins with the Lucasfilm logo, and then a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That is very important. You've got to have that. But then after that, it just cuts to the film. And you don't see the Rogue One title until like 5 minutes later. I mean, I read in the news ahead of time that Rogue One wasn't going to have an opening crawl, so it wasn't majorly disappointing for me by its absence when I saw the actual movie. But all in all, this movie really could have used an opening crawl. Like, in the beginning, they have us jumping from planet to planet right away, and the audience has to piece together, like, okay, where in this universe are we? Like, what's going on? Like, it makes the audience, like, work a little more to, like, make sense of the first act. Now, the reason why there's no opening crawl in Rogue One is because Lucasfilm really wanted to separate standalone Star Wars films from the main saga films. And if they felt like the best way to do that is to take away the opening crawl, that's fine with me. But what I'm asking for is just make the opening as powerful even without the opening crawl. Make it more Star Warsy, because admittedly, the first act of Rogue One was a little weak without that opening crawl. And same thing with the music a little bit throughout the film. Like, it's not John Williams, and it's not too distractingly different from his work, but at the same time, like, I felt like it could have been a little more John Williams-y. Like, it could have had a little bit more of that classic Star Wars spirit to it. Besides those little minor hiccups in Rogue One, overall, I admire director Gareth Edwards' hand in the making of this film. 2 years ago, this guy made an awesome Godzilla movie, and this time he is back at it again with Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This guy has been a Star Wars fan since he was a little kid, and it shows through his work and his performance in Rogue One and how it turned out. It is amazing. You can tell he truly cares for the integrity of this franchise. It is the ultimate Star Wars fan film. For me, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, easily gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is spectacular. It is the highlight in the cinematic year of 2016. I thought Captain America versus Iron Man was amazing, but no, man, Rogue One totally takes the cake. You will go see Rogue One today. You do not want to sell me death sticks.